Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Yeah, we're gonna sink some French ships today. Hopefully. Yeah, I got an older Prince Eitel Friedrich class supporting my brand new, well, not brand new, but kinda new, Bayern class battleships. It should be, yeah, this will be the first battle for the Bayern and Sarien. Two of their sister ships already saw combat in a previous episode. Let's get my stuff organized. Lauenburg, yeah, you are already set to follow the Bayern, that's fine. Don't really need you going off alone. And in fact, the Cormoran can just start out following the Lauenburg. And she can then just later, if I need her speed, detach and go alone. And the Cormoran has already spotted the enemy. She seems to be the ship in this battle with the best tower spotting. Yeah, max cruising speed at 20 knots. That's not bad. That's very good, actually. That's one of the advantages of diesel engines. You get a cruising speed that is very close to the top speed. Well, you do get a cruise speed bonus as long as you're down to here. But for example, the max cruising speed of the Magdeburg, if I slow her down to 28, which is that cruise speed bonus thing, see, she does get some cruise speed bonus. That's a plus 10%. If I slow her down to 23 knots, which is her max cruise speed, you can see that cruise speed bonus jumps up. Meanwhile, these ships get a lot of cruise speed bonus at 20 knots, which is their max cruise speed. So, useful little statistic to keep in mind. Uh, 6.3 kilometer torpedoes. I'm not hitting much yet. What are we even aiming at here? Oh, they're all on low fuel. How lovely. Well, not their battleships and battle cruisers, but their cruisers and DDs. Are low on fuel. Cool. That's an advantage. Oh, for me. And I just want to get in. Oh, no. I just want to get in close enough to drop some torpedoes. Towards their cluster of ships. Looks like the 2705 will not get to play with her torpedoes in this battle, because she is going home. Torpedo hit. The Jeanne d'Arc. Not bad, but it's one torpedo hit for 1.5 thousand. Really worth taking 7.5 on my DD? I mean, not really. Let's see, can Magdeburg get some torpedoes out? One battleship down. Both sets of torpedoes out from Magdeburg. Dud torpedo. So my battleships wasted a bit of time shooting at these DDs. That's not really needed. Let's see, they're doing it again. No, that was the Lauenburg, actually. That's fine. But you can focus these light cruisers. 2706. You can kill the DD if you want to. Free to do so. What kind of armor do you have? 1.5 inches? Maybe load AP. Gave you semi-armor piercing for a reason. So their capital ships have already been sunk. Come on, get some flooding hits on this guy. Minimum bulkheads. That's cute. And that's their cheap DD. Should be able to cause some flooding here. There we go. Floodings. Yeah, she's sinking. When 706 is out of torpedoes. Torpedo hit. Very nice. And the Magdeburg is now out of torpedoes. And with no more destroyer threats, and all of these light cruisers being kind of old, I think I can just let the Magdeburg go home. Because these old light cruisers are slow enough that they're not that hard to hit with my capital ship guns. And they have enough armor so that the 6-inch guns on the Magdeburg are not really that effective. Unless I get really close at a flat broadside, in which case I risk eating a bunch of torpedoes. So now let's just let the big guns do the talking. That is, like, the Bayern class is so huge, actually. Well, it is 61,000 tons. It kind of looks like a small early dread. It doesn't look that different from the dreadnoughts I started with. The what, 25,000 tons or something. But when you realize that, yeah, these are double 16-inch guns and they don't look oversized, yeah, it kind of dawns on you that these are big ships. Heavier than the Bismarck, actually. I guess it's kind of fitting, going with the idea of having stronger, higher quality ships than the enemy, while also keeping in mind that I am quite behind on technology compared to some of the AI nations. It's like, okay, we can't make anything more advanced than a dreadnought, let's make a huge dreadnought. I am building something more advanced than a dreadnought now, though, because I do have the modern battleship hulls unlocked. I just don't really have the economy to build a lot of them, so I'm building two based on the modern battleship 1 hull. I'm thinking if I can get the transport losses situation under control and get back up to 100% transport capacity, then I can design and build something on the modern battleship 2 hull. I think the Triton is gonna sink. Triton sank. See what kind of damage we're looking at. 34,000, 27,000, 2.4, 436. Well, it should be going up now that we are shooting at light cruisers. Many bulkheads. Are these all the same class? I think so. Yeah, the 13-inch guns on the Lauenburg are starting to work. I still think they are overall, especially for dealing with cruisers, overall better than bigger guns. At least when you get down to this kind of range. It's kind of 14, 12. kilometer range. Now the secondaries beginning to work. $35, $32, $14. But also a lot of flooding. Which is not really reflected in the damage total, but if it ends up sinking a ship, then that's more than good enough. Yeah, the AI is still not really being aggressive enough with these light cruisers. They're kind of just diddling around. Well inside the effective range of my guns, but outside of their own torpedo range. Oof. 10,000 hit from a 16-inch gun. From the Zarian by the looks of it. Let's finish off the ships we are sailing past first, guys. Not get distracted by ships that are farther away. Let's reduce speed a little bit more. Couple more salvos on the Spahi. Then we're gonna switch to let's actually switch to these now. Because they're even closer. Yeah, Lauenburg has run out of AP. Cormoran is also running out of AP. That's the downside of 13-inch guns. You don't really get a lot more ammo than with the bigger guns. But you go through it a lot faster. let's sink this guy too. Yeah, secondaries really do be pumping out the shots. That's was the intention. That's why I waited with the refit of this class for a couple of months, so I could get the Mark IV 6-inch gun. Which also made the refit take longer than it otherwise would, because I had to move a bunch of stuff around to fit the Mark IV 6-inch turrets, which were a lot bigger than Mark III's. Was it worth it? Well, a 6-inch gun's done 3,000 on the Zaryan. 1,700 the Bayern. Which is nice, you know, it's damage that would otherwise not have been dealt. Another flooding hit on the what is that? Is that a bouclier? I just need some of the forward sections flooded. And she's gonna be toast. Or, you know, some more direct hits to just take away its structural integrity. Why are you not hitting? Is it in smoke? It is. Okay. Well, the smoke is running out now, I think. Yep. There we go, we've started hitting again. Yeah, that was kind of the idea with the 6-inch gun. I didn't really accomplish it with the turrets, only 12 kilometer AP range, but with the casemates I got 15 kilometer AP range, which is enough to outrange the 12.7 or 12.6 kilometer torpedoes that a lot of French light cruisers and DDs are carrying. Not this class though, but other ones. There we go. Finally. Took your time. You don't have the HE range to do that, and you don't have any AP. I can get that one. Yeah, at this stage, if the Cormoran had any AP shells left, I would have detached her from the formation and just gotten it closer to brawl with the light cruisers. But there's kind of no point if it doesn't have AP shells. The Chila is gonna sink, I think. Yep. Because with 6 inches of armor all over, HG is not really doing much. Six inches being the absolute maximum you can put on a light cruiser, and the AI decided instead of using some of that displacement to make the cruiser faster or give it some more firepower, no, we're just gonna go 6 inches all over. Even the fore and aft deck. Here you go, torpedo detonation. Yeah, it's gonna sink. Surrendered, actually. Not sunk. Not much of a chance to hit, but it is something. Let's get some cruise speed. Yeah, not much of a chance to hit, but it's something. And we did score a hit. 82, 67. Lauenberg is completely out of ammo. Cormoran is basically out of ammo. It's up to the battleships. We're gonna get some hits on that light cruiser. .8 knots. Yeah, we're just gonna end it here. Couple of outdated light cruisers escaping. That's good enough. Not really interested in spending a lot of time hunting them down. If I'd been forward thinking enough to maybe just deactivate the guns on the Cormoran and Lauenberg until I needed them, so they could just speed out and do their stuff, would have been a different matter. Yeah, light damage on the Bayern, medium damage on the Z27, and that's it. That's pretty good, I think. Transports lost: 1 Sea of Okhotsk, 2 South Pacific. Not bad. That's actually very good. Okay. There we go. Naval invasion of Tripolitania. It's gonna need 46,000 tons. This is way more than that. How's things going here? 80%. I think it was 70 last month. So that's gonna be 2 more months to take Upper Volta. Yeah, we've taken Gabon and we're pushing on into Middle Congo. Also gonna get Central African Republic. Yeah, the needed tonnage went up because we got the French fleet inside of the circle, but they're heading out, so that's fine. I think we're gonna get Sarawak either way, by land or sea. Just sending everything here. Let's try and intercept. Lots of single ships. Yeah, we got ammo, we got fuel. Fit to fight. Transport losses down to minus 135 million. That's good. Bump my tech budget up a little bit. Turret mechanisms, was that just like barrels? Yeah. And that was the balanced draft boiler. Okay. 100% army logistics. France is rebellious and their GDP is shrinking while mine is growing because I'm taking their land. Who should I schmooze up to? Let's try and be more friends with Austria-Hungary. Yeah, let's go next turn. Gonna check in on stuff here. Yeah, let's also, if you haven't seen it, these are the modern battleships I'm building. They were constructed in a previous episode, but I realize not everyone watches every episode, which is understandable. So, double 16-inch guns, 55 caliber length. So, quite long, the way I like them, and capitalistic too. So it should be capable of punching through some stuff. And we got 6-inch secondaries, 3.5-inch, I guess, tertiaries, and a couple of 2-inch guns here and there where nothing else would fit. König class. Now I could refit my light cruisers now, and give them the Mark IV 6-inch guns. But during the refit process, which would only take a month, they would be not applying what's it called, like sea control or power projection, which would result in more transports lost. So I can't really afford that at the moment. Plus, the refit itself would cost money. Come on. Come on, game. There you go. Yeah, we got 2 convoy class. Let's move them to join in with the battle cruisers, so they have some submarine protection. Meanwhile, the Prince Adalbert, the Hansa, good old Hansa, can just move into Barry. And, well, probably gonna get scrapped. Those armored cruisers have, again, other than participating in naval invasions, kind of outlived their usefulness by a pretty good margin. Lots of meetings and convoys. I think this is going to be a long turn. Center party won again. Submarine. Ah. That's a running away from kind of battle. Or is it? Or is it? I think it's... Oh. Let's try and withdraw, and if that doesn't work, let's try and do some damage to their light ships before escaping. Well, let's try and do some damage to their light ships before escaping. See, that's the kind of task force I hope run into the König Wilhelm group near Madagascar. Looks like most of these ships are kind of old. Probably don't have a lot on their own low fuel. Well, at least some of them. Their battleships are on low fuel. Their cruisers seem to not be on low fuel. This one is on low fuel and on very low hit points. So let's score a hit and probably sink it. Disappeared in smoke. It's fine. Now this is risky. Those battleships have 15.8-inch guns. But I just don't think they are that good at actually hitting stuff. What kind of range are we looking at here? We can't have that kind of range. Must have missed it. Oh, yeah, they only have 10.6 kilometer range. Okay. So this suddenly became a lot less risky than I first thought. What am I in range of? They're shooting something. 15.8. No, it's something else that's shooting at me. Is it this one? Yeah. Yeah, they've got one battlecruiser with 14 point something guns and a 20 kilometer range. But that's fine. Okay, let's score a hit on that. I think it's a cruiser. Must be a light cruiser because it's smoked. Could actually potentially, it's got Mark II 14s, stereoscopic 2, yeah, this is trash. Now, focus that cruiser while it's visible. Takes 1 or 2 hits to just sink it. That's 1 hit. That's 2 hit. It is just a light cruiser, a cheap one at that. But it looks like such an easy kill. Because I think it's taken a lot of mine damage. Or potentially submarines. Yeah, it's got basically 6 inches all over. Because the AI likes maxing things out when it can. Okay, back to the DD. Said back to the DD. We are inside of torpedo range. But lead is taken into account. So while my ships are inside of its 9.5 kilometer torpedo range, where my ships will be when the torpedo gets there is outside of that range. Will probably be here somewhere. There you go, flooding. It's gonna sink. It's got maximum bulkheads, so never know. Might fix the flooding. Now it's smoking, so it's gonna be hard to hit. There we go, some more flooding. That's all that was needed. There's the Admiral Greg. Sink it first, and then I think we're gonna switch to the Tomsk. There we go, flooding, and it's gonna flood the whole ship because it's got no structural integrity. So switching to Tomsk. HE? Selecting HE? No. I think we can, maybe not. 12 inches main belt. At 130. 13 kilometers out. Yeah, nah. Well, maybe. You can get the fore and aft belts. Are the fore and aft belts on these battleships? Well, it's also not very good. Let's harass these battleships. You can take one each. Just need the fore and aft belts flooded. Should probably not be enough to sink them, but yeah, these have very long citadels, so fore and aft belts don't really cover much. Most of the ship is covered by the main belt. That might not be a good idea. But we're still flooding something. Switch back to Tomsk. Can go cruise speed actually. There we go. Good flooding on Tomsk. What kind of turret armor do you have? 11 inches? .4, oh, 11.6 and 7.4 on the barbette. Cordite 1, TNT 2, barbette 3. It's not like a huge explosion hazard, but maybe. Again, this is when it would be nice to have like a spread of long-range torpedoes on my cruisers. Torpedo detonation. And we're actually hitting the ship behind it too. Now the angle is no good, so let's bother the Imperator Nikolai. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sink any of these battleships or the battlecruiser, but I could certainly damage them. Yeah, these heavy cruisers have more armor than the battlecruiser. I'm actually damaging the main guns. It's quite impressive. Well, let's go with some HE. Let's just spend the rest of my HE ammo. Oh, let's end it. Not a lot of victory points, but it's something. We sunk a DD and a light cruiser. And severely annoyed some battleships. Yeah, no damage taken. One slow heavy cruiser. Let's sink it. And I think that's gonna be the last battle of this episode. Sadly, I can't check my transport losses until all the battles have been fought. I'm curious to see if I've lost fewer transports than the last turn. Well, that's unlikely. Last turn I only lost 2, I think. 2 or 3. And it's trying to run. But I don't know if it's realized, but it's still inside of my range and it's slower than my battleships. Running away is certainly logical in this situation. One damaged armored cruiser. That is outranged by I don't know how many times. What is the range of this ship? Yeah, 10 kilometers. I can reach out to 36.5. I think it's the same class of heavy cruisers as they had in that previous battle. Okay, there we go. I think that's good night. That was a 3,000 hit. And that's another 2,000. Flooding. And yeah, it was almost death by structural integrity too. Because they had only a tiny sliver left. Yeah, it's one of the ones with like 12.4 inches of belt armor. Which is incredibly tanky and hard to deal with like another heavy cruiser, but when facing battleships with 16-inch guns firing capped ballistic 2, it really doesn't do you any good. So let's see, maybe we can do the next one too, depending on whether or not I think it's gonna be quick. Yeah, no, this is the next episode. Bayern and Saringen again. Well, now hopefully with some more ammo, because they spent a lot in the previous battle. Well, at least the Lauenburg and Comoran, they shot themselves completely empty. Faced with an Armide class battlecruiser, 2 Sully class heavy cruisers, which are dangerous, and 4 Captain Mail class light cruisers, which are very dangerous. Far more than this battlecruiser. And one of these also very dangerous DDs with lots of long-range torpedoes. 3 quad launchers, and I'm pretty sure they are the 12-point-something kilometer range. So yeah, that's for the next episode. Goodbye, and take care.